Newsflash, Corvus Belli Studio Update number 24. Carlos confirms that without a shadow of the doubt, the Corvus Belli team watches Corner Case. Hit that intro, baby! Welcome to Corner Case. You're in the hobby corner. I'm your host, your most influential influencer, your best friend, Deck. In this episode, Corvus Belli Studio Update number 24. That's where they pump all the news. Lots of good stuff. Let's go over it. First thing, before we even get into any news, can I just say Carlos was going off this episode. This dude was hella funny.
Let's do it!
Second, just globally, the music they use for these updates is
so good.
at getting me hyped. For all y'all out there who were into Gundam Wing in the late 90s, the track they're using in this studio update is exactly like the Gundam Wing song called Communication. Post in the description below because this is the type of song that just gets you into it, into the updates. The first one, Defiance Platinum Pledge back online. I, for one, was super FOMO that I was not playing Infinity at the time of Defiance. There was some pretty sweet stuff in that box. The number one reason I'm considering this is absolutely the Megalodron. The Megalodron is one of the most epic models I've ever seen. I've seen it painted. It's been painted on our Facebook page, so go check it out. One of the community members did that.
Oh my goodness.
To me, that is absolutely the number one reason to invest. It's gonna be a ton of monies, but you know, we just like it. It's cool. Look out for that in May. Pretty sick update. The FOMO is so strong. Next update.
Let's do it!
Last day for the pledge manager for tag raid, which like I totally blew it and missed it. So, I mean, I think that means I still get my stuff. Like they still got to ship it to me, right? Like I wasn't going to change my pledge, but if y'all were on that and you guys didn't do your like pledge manager, then maybe you should do that as a reminder. It's easy to forget the pledge manager. So that's why I thought it was worth talking about that. Next update that will absolutely be covered and followed on our channel here. The new Steel Phalanx update. Y'all know I've painted my Ajax, my Andromeda. I haven't yet painted my swimsuit bod Achilles, but I do have almost the full suite of Steel Phalanx characters. I'm pretty excited to see like the type of update that they're gonna put into this new Steel Phalanx group, you know, because that was kind of like the Trojan War / like Greek mythos kind of theme going on. So I'm pretty excited to see how that rounds out. I don't know, just naming characters that I can remember off the top of my head, like Agamemnon. You know, it would just be sick to have an Agamemnon or like some Trojan horse or something, you know, I don't know what, but we could start wishlisting all we want. I just know that they announced that they would be Assassins versus Steel Phalanx. I'm guessing, you know, Assassins is supposed to be as exactly as it sounds, like surgically removing high value targets. I don't know if that just means narratively there's some like high value target that Aleph is going to be defending and Assassins is going to be trying to eliminate, or if potentially like Aleph are going to get this crazy important new character and Assassins are actually trying to remove that character. I don't know. Could be pretty cool either way, but I'm excited to see like what updates they actually make because when I look at the actual range, I think the characters are all pretty close. So I have Achilles. He's like kind of in like the right scale already and his sculpt looks pretty contemporary. I have Achilles, the skinny boy armor, not like the skinny boy armor and the big boy armor. So I have both versions of Achilles. What I don't have is I don't have Patroclus. That's been pretty hard to find. And so Achilles, Skilly Boy, and Patroclus, in addition to being hard to find, I think are a little bit on the off small scale. I assume that at least one of those bros is going to get like the updated scaling. Then the Myrmidons. I just think the Myrmidons have kind of like the weirdest pose and it's mostly in the legs, you know, because back then metal models, the legs kind of got to be on the same line so that they could be on like the gate. I don't know. I would be excited to see new Myrmidons because I always thought they were like a cool concept and cool design, but the sculpts themselves, in addition to just being awkward, they made me cry in assembly. They absolutely made me cry. So I'm hoping for new stuff of that. And of course, you know, I play Aleph, so I'm only talking about Steel Phalanx right now. I definitely don't have the vocabulary to go into Assassins, but the Assassins by no means are, you know, that's not deterring me from buying this box for sure. I would be pretty interested in Haq Islam as a secondary faction. And now that I am relieved of my guilt of liking it, link below. Overall, super excited to see what comes in this box. You know, maybe Steel Phalanx gets like its own tag. Who knows? But we're going to be following the developments here. Super exciting update on that side. The next update.
Let's do it!
They call it the adventuring game Warcrow. I don't remember where I saw this, so shout out if somebody, I think it might have been in someone else's comment section or maybe in the comment section of the original video, but Corvus Belli itself translates exactly to Warcrow, and there is like a whole history of them making this fantasy game. I haven't done enough research to see exactly what the rule set is, but just seeing what they've done with Infinity, the ARO system, the objective gameplay, I'd be pretty interested to see where they go with Warcrow, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm probably gonna pre-order the box whenever they put that up, simply to just be a part of this, because I think this is kind of what Corvus Belli might need to kind of capture more of the market. I think right now, maybe Infinity is still kind of seen as niche. By that I mean, there's still a very huge, like absolutely huge part of the community that are fantasy focused over sci-fi focused. And the reason I think that, I think D&D, Wizards of the Coast, like Magic the Gathering, those two games, those are really, really fantasy based. Now, Magic the Gathering just did their updated Kamigawa block, which is kind of cyberpunky. And so obviously it's like really popular. And now D&D is also kind of like introducing that space travel with like Spelljammer. So, you know, I think sci-fi, obviously it is super popular, but I think Magic and D&D prove that the entire community can pretty much be sustained on the strength of fantasy alone. And obviously 40K is like kind of sci-fi. I don't even want to call 40K like sci-fi though. I want to call it like future fantasy kind of. It's basically future fantasy. It's not sci-fi, come on. I think that Warcrow, if done well, can potentially swoop up like a ton of market share for Corvus Belli. It's kind of that big mainstream wide mass appeal kind of thing that they need. So as long as the gameplay is a lot smoother to on-ramp than Infinity the game, I think Corvus Belli should have a win, because obviously they make sick models. Obviously they are working on building more lore, and then they're going to have like the fantasy game. They're getting better with the social media. I think Carlos and that team are doing a great job. I think they can probably improve the types of communication, I think, like more of them, but the little video updates are really good. So Warcrow, super excited about it. Will be following it. Please follow with me. Next update, they update a ton of models, but I'm a little bit less interested. So watch the video, the original video, if you want to know more. Next on my list,
Let's do it!
they are updating the ITC Frozen Roads prize pack. I bought this already like back in September, October, I think, whenever it came out. Obviously you've seen that I've painted my Fiddler model, but this includes like the 2 extra models. They look pretty cool, but I'm not like that interested in them. So personally, I won't be buying, but if you guys wanted to get on some of those limited sculpts, it's really not like a bad value. Like obviously like the cheapest way rather is you just get good at the game and then you like win in your local scene. But for those of us who either don't play enough to like win a tournament or just want the models to paint and maybe don't have a local scene, buying the prize pack box, it's a pretty sweet deal. You get all the swag in it, and like depending on like what swag you get, like the patches and stuff, you can definitely like do trades, and that's a really fun part of the community, I think. So the prize pack is actually really, really fun. If you guys have never invested in the prize pack, I definitely recommend it. You get like the dice and stuff and like the little metal tokens. It like really like soups up your game and like helps your immersion. It's really fun. Really, really fun. I would suggest it if you haven't already. I already bought it like last time, so I'll be waiting for the next one. Then next up, Carlos confirms that the Corvus Belli team watch our videos here because he mentions, and I quote, actually just roll the clip.
New Marut, very stylized, okay? I have seen the printed version next to other tags, and this one is very, very Evangelion, okay? Very, very stylized, thin parts, okay? Very feminine looking in a certain way, yeah, next to chunky tags, okay?
You heard the man. It looks feminine, a little more Evangelion. I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. Like, I'm pretty sure that they watch our channel. That's their way of saying it. We get it. We did a better job this time. So, I mean, now that they've confirmed that they've watched our channel, maybe, you know, it's time to start wish listing, guys. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. Maybe we've got a little chapter master Valrak, but for Infinity going on over here. Be making predictions, wish listing, stuff that we want will actually start happening. A little healthy exchange here. I don't know, it's proof to me. And the last update that I care about is the Pano 3-character box. I think this is pretty cool. I like characters. I love characters, actually. I'll not lie. I think the translation from the illustrations to the models, a little bit funny to me. I still dig it, but it's just a little bit like a different vibe. Like you see this illustration of Kyle and then you like see the model. He looks a little wonky. In the illustration, he looks like kind of sharp, kind of like determined. And then like you see the model and his face like put on a couple pounds. He looks a little chunkier, a little more dad-like. I thought that was kind of funny, but he's still pretty cool. And what really got me going know, was the Grand Master. And like, I get it, you know, like military orders is like the faction for 40k refugees. I'm not one of those, but I still think the concept of Space Knights is sick. Who doesn't? She's pretty sick. I definitely want to own this, like, just for her. I do also think that the translation is different, where like she kind of like emanates like raw physical strength in the illustration, and then she kind of got like a little cakeified, like not like really cakeified, but they definitely made her a little softer and more feminine in the model. So there's a bit of a translation there. We always kind of talk about that in terms of Infinity. There's always a little bit of a translation. So that was a pretty huge update from Corvus Belli. In conclusion, Defiance Platinum Pledge. Last day for the Pledge Manager. Steel Phalanx versus Assassins. Obviously, we're going to get a Trojan Horse and a guy named Agamemnon. Confirmed that definitely Corvus Belli watches our videos. Character pack for Pano with the Grand Master. Buy the prize packs, if you will. And that was like basically only 60 to 70% of all the updates. Oh, Warcrow. So watch it yourself if you're interested in anything more specific than what we talked about today. Otherwise, I hope we just got hyped together in this video because there's a lot to be hyped about. I have great hopes that Corvus Belli kind of like continues to grow and the communities continue to grow as well, because this hobby is so sick, and the art, everything about the visual style and the dedication that goes into making Corvus Belli's Infinity the game, the cheesy cover band, but it's a very, very cool world to be immersed in. I'm loving every minute of learning about it with you guys. Thanks for swinging by. Please like and subscribe. We're always desperate. Join the Discord, join the Facebook, and we'll see you next time.
Please like and subscribe. We've been through enough.